is a EPS, September 2015, question number 4B, question number 4B. So they want us to give them basic EPS for each of the years ended 31st December 2013 and 2014. And then now we have the diluted EPS for the year ending 31st December 2014. A bright student knows that basic EPS is where we have low-hanging fruits. A bright student will tell you that for basic EPS, ensure that you get all the marks which are there, and then diluted, you can go for 50%, like 3, for example. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are told here, Ozen Limited is a manufacturing company quoted on the Securities Exchange. The following information was extracted from the records of the company. On 1st January 2013, the company had issued an outstanding share capital of 300,000 ordinary shares of shillings 20 each and 100,000 8% convertible preference shares of shillings 50 each. All ordinary shares were fully paid and the preference shares were convertible into ordinary shares at the rate of 3 ordinary shares for every 2 preference shares fully paid. Note number 2, the company reported profits after tax of 1.2 million in the year ending 31st December 2013 and 1.8 in the year ended 31st December 2014. The profit for the year ended 31st December 2014 is after including a profit of shillings 250,000 from operations discontinued in the period. Ladies and gentlemen, we like it that way because whenever we are getting basic EPS, we don't discriminate. Whenever we are getting basic EPS, ladies and gentlemen, we would want the profit to be the profit we're going to use. The profit after tax we should use when you're getting basic EPS should be profit for both continued and discontinued operations. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, and listen to me very well. This is an ACCA question. I'll be able to give it to you. Weza kuona solution yake pia. Hii kitu ya kwamba profit of discontinued operations was included in terms of this basic EPS, it's irrelevant to us. We shall not deduct this. This is not the way we treat the profit attributable to NCI. Profit attributable to NCI must always be deducted, regardless. We are told on 1st April 2013, the company made a rights issue of 1 fully paid ordinary share at 60 for every 3 ordinary shares when the shares were trading at 84 each. On 1st October 2013, the company issued 200,000 ordinary shares at market price. Due to the high market price of its shares, Ozen Limited split its shares in the ratio of 2 fully paid ordinary shares of shillings 2 each for every 1 ordinary share of shillings 2 each on 1st April 2014, just like Equity Bank. About 5 years ago, Equity Bank realized that their shares were trading at a very high price. So when you realize that your shares are trading at a very high price and perhaps this ordinary wananchi, the individual investors are not able to afford them, what do? You split them. You can decide to split them into 2. You can split them into 4, depending on your objective. So like these guys, you can see here in the share split, ladies and gentlemen, you can see in the share split, you know, the shares here, the par value is 20. The original par value was 20. But now they have split this equally into 2. One share will be split equally into 2. And each is going to have a par value of what they are of 10. It's a share split. It's a share split. But of course, if you get a bad examiner, at times they'll not even use this word 2 fully. What they'll do, they'll tell you that Ozen has split its shares into ordinary shares of shillings, for example, 5 each. So it's upon you to do a simple fraction where you take the old par value divided by the new par value. It's like 20 divided by 10. I'm so sure here 20 divided by 10. I'm so sure here that 1 old share is giving me 2 new shares. If, for example, the new par value was 5, then I would have said 20 divided by 5. I would have known 1 old share was to give me how many new? 4. I'll come back to that. Note 6. The company offered 200,000 stocks or stock options on 1st June 2014 with an exercise price of 30 when the average market price per share was 40 in the year. None of the options were exercised. No worries. 7, on 1st July 2014, the company issued 8% convertible debentures amounting to 4 million. The debentures convertible into ordinary shares at the rate of 60 paid ordinary shares for every 1,000 of the debentures. None of the debentures were converted in the year ended 31st December 2014. The company had issued 6% debentures with a nominal value of 5 in the year 2010. The debentures were convertible into ordinary shares at the rate of 60 fully paid ordinary shares for every 1,000 of the debentures. None of the debentures had been converted by 31st December 2013. However, on October 1st, 2014, holders of 3 million debentures converted them into ordinary shares. Corporation tax rate is 30%. So they want me to give them the basic EPS for each of the years. And if I'm the one doing this, I know the low-hanging fruits. So I'll start with one-offs. And unfortunately, because now we never completed this question yesterday, I have to begin from the beginning. Lakini takimbia mbio sana. Mimi ni mtu wa mbio kabisa. So I'm beginning from scratch. So I'm calculating one-offs. How many years do we have in this question? How many years do we have in this question? How many years do we have in this question? Which years are this? Which years are this? Which years are this? Which years are this? They're not talking to me. They're not talking to me. 2013 and 2014, isn't it? So kama ni one-offs, lazima uweke na miaka, ufanye hizo miaka mbili. So tunaanza na one-offs. One-offs is weighted average number of ordinary shares. So tunaanza na the year 2013. Tunaanza na the year 2013. So hapo unaandika kale kitebo kile tunasema date, unasema straight away particulars ama description ama working. Nimeona mnazoea kutumia jina particulars. Nimekuwa accountant kabisa hata mimi, particulars like that. Right? Alafu hapa nakuja unasema total number of shares. Total news. Total number of shares. Hapa nakuja naweka time. Hapa naweka bonus fraction. Bonus fraction. Alafu naweka column ya nini? Ya one-offs. Ya one-offs. Ya one-offs like that. Ya one-offs like that. Ya one-offs like that. Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, always lazima uanze na beginning of the year. Lazima uanze na beginning of the year. This is 1st of January 2013. 1st of January 2013. So are we together? Can we get, I want to start now. 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 Thank you very much. So I would want to know the number of shares that we began with. Number of shares that we began with. Wanatuambia on 1st of January 2013, the company had issued an outstanding share capital of 300,000 ordinary shares of 20 each and 100,000 8% convertible. If it are convertible due preference, convertible, ladies and gentlemen, debentures, share options, those things will never find their way to my what year? To my weighted average number of ordinary shares. Not unless they were being converted. Not unless they were actually converted to ordinary shares in the year. Kama unaambua they were never converted, hatuna maana. So kitu ya maana hapo ni kwamba tuko na balance brought down. We have some balance brought down on this date over how much here somebody over how many shares. What is the balance brought down? How many shares do we have there? Somebody 300. So kumbukeni ni column ya cumulative oye. Hii ni column ya cumulative. Wameniambia itakuwa ni 300. So usikaende kujaza hii column hii at all. Hizi column usijaza at all. Hizi na kujanga baadaye. Enda kwa the next date. Kwanza unajazanga hizi makolam peke yake hizi mwanzo hizi 3 mwanzo. Enda kwa next date. Next date, ladies and gentlemen, ambao tuko na maneno pale. Next date ambao tuko na maneno, majimaneno ni date number 2. Not even date number 2 is nothing to us because date number 2 is talking about profitability. So we go to date number 3. Date number 3, on 1st April 2013, the company made a rights issue of 1 fully paid ordinary share at 60 for every 3 ordinary shares. I love this. I love this because, ladies and gentlemen, I can see the date here is 1st April 2013. It's well within our year 2013. It's well within our year 2013. So nitakuja niseme hapa 1st April 2013, we had a rights issue. A rights issue over how many shares to how many shares? How many shares to how many shares? What is the ratio given there? What is the ratio given there? What is the ratio given there? Abracadabra. What is the ratio given there? 1:3. 1:3. Usiponiongelesha leo, ni vile nimeona mko smart. Moye. Huwezi kuwa smart hivyo ndio ukose kuongea. Aya. Umesema on 1st April 2013, the company made a rights issue of 1 fully paid ordinary share at 60 for every 3 ordinary shares when the shares were trading at 84. Wachana mambo ya mbesha kwanza. Hapo naambiwa ni 1 new for every 3, all that you have. Kwa hivyo itakuwa 1/3 times what here, somebody, the shares we have which are outstanding. So 1/3 times 300 gives me how many shares? I have cut my 3 zeros. Yeah, that gives me 100. So kumaanisha cumulatively up to date tuko na shares ngapi oye? To date tuko na shares ngapi oye? 400. Because we are accumulating, it's cumulative like that. Usikajaze hizo columns you type na achana nazo kwanza. Wewe endelea tu kushika shares zote mpaka mwisho wa mwaka. Endelea kushika shares zote mpaka mwisho wa mwaka. Ladies and gentlemen, we are told, look at note number 4. Note number 4, wanasema on 1st October 2013, the company issued 200,000 ordinary shares at market price. So we have which date? 1st October 2013. That is a date which is well within our year. So we have here 1st October 2013. We had the issue of shares at market price. There was no bonus, market price. And how many shares were given out in total? How many shares were issued out in total? 600. Are you sure, Janet? It's 200. 200. It is 200. So it is after we bring the 200 in the total cumulative column, then you'll end up getting what, somebody there? 600, like that. 600, like that. Now you go to the next date, ladies and gentlemen. The next date, 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 the next date. We are told here the company offered, due to the high market price of its shares, Ozen Limited split its shares in the ratio of 2 fully paid ordinary shares for each. Look at the date. On 1st April 2014, this thing has crossed over. It's not well within this other side of River Jordan. It has gone to the other side. Yeah, so that will come in a different year. So are we together that these are the only transactions that took place in 2013? Are we together that these are the only transactions that took place in 2013? Yes. So then let us compute the 1OC. So the 1OC, first of all, I would want the time fraction. And this is how we count. This to this. This to this. So 1st of January to 1st of April. How do you count, ladies and gentlemen? How do you count? How many months do we have between 1st of January and 1st of April? 1st of January and 1st of April, you are counting January, February, March. When I try to touch April, I remember April was just at the beginning. So you're only counting January, February, and March. So 3 months. So then this time fraction will be 3 out of 12. How about, ladies and gentlemen, between this date and this date? Between this date and this date? Between this date and this date? Rosie anasema 7. Mimi, I can never trust any lady with dates. Right? So, ladies and gentlemen, we have to count together. So we are counting together April, May, June, July, August, September. So before I say October, you see October was at the beginning. Should be 6 months. So it is 6 out of what year? Out of 12. 6 out of 12. And because there were only 3 transactions, even without counting, I know counting at times is not very easy, but because there were only 3, I can use the balancing figure concept. How many months to the end now? How many months to the end? It will be 3 out of 12. 3 out of 12. Ladies and gentlemen, in this question, we had a bonus. A bonus in the context of what here? A rights issue. So with the rights issue, I would want its fraction here. It's bonus or rights fraction. So come here and give us the rights fraction. Yeah. So for the rights fraction, first of all, I would want the theoretical X rights price. I would want the theoretical X rights price. When do we need to size it to at 1 new for every 3 old? And have they given us their prices? Do we know this 1 new share in the right? How much? The bill tells me that the 1 new is 60. The 1 new is 60. The 1 new is 60. And the old one, Shem, is telling me is 84. These figures are given here. 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 We are told here on 1st April of 2013, the company made a rights issue of 1 fully paid ordinary share at 60 for every 3 ordinary shares at 84, like that. Thank you so much. So ladies and gentlemen, then could you kindly give me this figure? So 1 times 60 gives me 60. 3 times 84 gives me how much? 3 times 84 gives me how much? Wongo. 252, thank you very much. 252, thank you very much. So total gives me how much? Total gives me how much? 312. And this 312 now is for how many shares? Is for how many shares? If you add this, is for how many shares? 4 shares. And therefore the term will be the 312 divided by 4. 312 divided by 4. 312 divided by 4, which gives me 78. Thank you very much. So then could you kindly, after getting the term, could you kindly give me the bonus fraction there? Give me the bonus stroke rights. Give me the bonus stroke rights fraction, stroke rights fraction, stroke rights fraction. Give me the bonus stroke rights fraction. You guys are very good. Mnajua ni market value of a share over the term. Market value of a share, the bonus fraction, I can even write here, the bonus or the rights fraction, or the rights fraction, or the rights fraction. It's normally the market value of the old share, the normal value without discounting, all over the theoretical X rights price. So mnasema the old market value was 84 divided by the term, which is 78, which is 78. So this is so important to me, 84 over 78. Remember this one, I'm supposed to be coming and placing it here. But remember the concept, ladies and gentlemen, that this is basically an adjustment fraction. It's an adjustment fraction which affects all the predecessors, the ones which are on top of the rights. So I can never put it here. So this 84 over 78, I can only put them on the top transactions. If there were 20 of them on the top transactions, each one of them. So here it's only one which is on top of us. So I'll come and put 84 over 78 like that. And that is it. So then you should be able to give us the one-offs. So you should be able to give us the one-offs. So how do we get the one-offs? You take the cumulative shares times the time fraction times the bonus fraction. You give me an answer here, whole number. They're giving me 80. Remember this 300, right? 300, not 300,000, not 300,000, not 300,000, 80 point, okay. If you want 2 decimal places, no worries, 80.77, thank you very much. How about this other second transaction? 400 times 6 over 12. 400 times 6 over 12 gives me how much? 200. This gives me 200. How about the next one? The next one is 200, no. 600 times 3 over 12. 150, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So this is 150. So please come here and give me the total one-offs for 2013. Give me the total one-offs. Give me the total one-offs for 2013. Give me the total one-offs for 2013. 430.77. 430.77. 430.77. These are one-offs for 2013. So with your permission, I will wrap this. I go to the next year. Remember, I'm supposed to do two different tables for 2013 and for 2014. Usikashikanishe hizo tables zote hazifai kushikanishwa. Usikashikanishe. So can I go to the next year? Can I go to the next year? Yes, thank you very much. So then we shall come now to 2014. So hiyo table mpya nitaandika namna hii, nitakuja hapa niseme WANOS 2014. Nitakuja hapa niseme WANOS 2014. So WANOS 2014. So WANOS 2014, I'll leave everything as is, except of course the transactions now here will be new. The transactions now here will be new. The transactions now here will be new. So please let me know once you are able to put up your skeleton for 2014. Please let me know once you have been able to draw yours like mine. Rosie anasema yes. Jabir anasema yes. Joy anasema yes. Great. Na wote kama Joy hata hakuweka hata video yake tumuone. Penina hakuweka video yake tumuone. Wamesema kesho, right? Wamesema kesho. Mwalimu should be able to place, right, the face to these good names. Yes. Kama Guga alikataa kabisa. Guga alikataa kabisa, but we shall overcome. We shall overcome, right? We shall overcome. Yeah, thank you very much. So which date should I start by writing here in 2014? Which date should I start with? Which date should I start with? Thank you very much. It has to be beginning. So 1st of January. So we have here 1st of January, 2014. 2014. So particulars here, the first particular one again, first particular. Balance brought down. Thank you very much. So then give me the number of shares that you're bringing down here. The number of shares. You'll get some students who, for whatever reason that I've never understood, some students will bring down the WANOS here. We are bringing down the cumulative number of shares from the other table, 600. Don't go to the time fraction. Don't do nothing there, right? So from there, go straight out to the next transaction that took place. Go there to the next transaction that took place. The next transaction there, now in 2014, isn't it? In 2014, the very first, actually, after bringing down, the very first transaction is this one here. Due to the high market price of its shares, Ozen Limited split its shares in the ratio of 2 paid ordinary shares of shillings 10 each for every 1 ordinary share. Which date is this? 1st April 2014. So we have here 1st April 2014. So what happened here? It's a share split. No more share split. Share split. It's a no more share split. And how does this share split look like? It's 2 new equals what here? Somebody 1 old. 2 new. So if you had 1 share, old share, we're giving you how many? 2 new shares. So now, ladies and gentlemen, what do you know about share split? Can somebody give me 1 sentence about share split? I know you guys are experts of EPS. I'm so sure here somebody must have been taught this EPS by so many teachers, like 2 or 3 teachers. So I'm so sure here I'm not teaching people who don't know. I'm so sure here that I'm teaching people who are doing master's because of having been taught this thing here severally by many teachers. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question first of all. If I was giving 2 new for every 1 old, so now that we had 600 shares, after splitting, these guys ended up having how many shares? Kumbe mnajua. After splitting, we are basically doubling their shares. We are doubling their shares. What if they told us that it was a reverse split? What if they use the language reverse split? What if they use the language reverse Thank you very much. It would have been 3. I would have divided by 2, isn't it? Thank you so much. Now listen and listen to me very well. When they talk of this forward split, what I'm supposed to do, it's very easy. I'm supposed to go to all the transactions that I have up here. I multiply them with 2. All the transactions that I have up there. Yeah, consolidating, yes. Consolidating, yes. But now this one is not about consolidation of shares. This one is about increasing the number of shares. We're increasing the number of shares. So it should be 600 times 2. So 600 times 2 gives me what figure, somebody here? It gives me 1,200. Is that okay? It gives me 1,200. 1,200. Alafu ukaambiwa na mwalimu wako vizuri, ukishafanya this adjustment for all the transactions up there, unakujanga na kalamu yako ya blue, unafanya share split, unavuta ni kama haijawahi onekana anywhere. Yani unavuta kabisa na hasira. Wasichana hapa hasira, mimi sioni wasichana, lakini nawaambia ukweli, tukivuta hii atuvutange na rula, atuvuti na rula, tunataka kuweka yani share split, you only adjust for the transactions that are up there and then you hide it like this. Usiniambie umechafua kitabu yako. Right? So yani hautakuja baadaye uanze kusema ati unahesabu ati miezi kutoka hapa mpaka hapa. Umeficha kila kitu mpaka date. Namna hiyo. Lakini unajua hapa usikafiche 1200 wewe. Yeah. Hii 1200 kwa line nyingine. Hii 1200 kwa line nyingine. Hizo unaficha ni hizo zote hizo kwenda huko zote. Like that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Could we kindly go to the next date? Could we kindly go to the next date? So now, are you able to see our brother Stephen Guga? Are you able to see our brother Stephen Guga? Honorable, yeah. You guys have been thinking he's a young man. Do we have Lucy Allen here? Lucy Allen, unfortunately, His Excellency, yes. Thank you so much. Okay. Great. He deserves respect, yes. He deserves respect. You know, at times in this case, he speaks and people think that perhaps he's on the payroll of RCM. No. When I understood Mayom understand, not Mayom, but this guy called Guga, he understands business. He understands business. Yes, yo mtu wa kuria, anajua mwalimu akifunza namna hii anafaa kunywa maji. Like that, he understands business. Hakuna mtu anazalipa Mayom. Mayom is a senior man in Kisumu County. Huwezi mulipata, mizezi mulipa. You thought him to go campus, no? Great. He's an MBA already. Thank you so much. Sasa kujeni hapa. So tuende kwa the next date. Thank you so much. Tuende kwa next date. Next date. So the next date, what are we told here? Ya 2014. Hebu nitafuteni next date ya 2014 tuone. Next date unasema on 1st July. No, hapa note 6. The company offered 200,000 stock options on 1st June 2014 with an exercise price of 30 when the average market price per share was 40 in the year. And none of the options were changed to these ordinary shares. So these ones are the potential dilutive instruments. We will use these for part 2. When we'll be calculating the diluted EPS. But for part 1, really, these ones will not be used at all. Go to note number 7. On 1st July 2014, the company issued 8% convertible debentures amounting to 4 million. The debentures were convertible into ordinary shares at the rate of 60 fully paid ordinary shares for every 1,000 of the debentures. None of the debentures were converted in the year ending 31st December 2014. So really, this will not affect our basic EPS computation. So for now, note number 7 is noise. Note number 8, the company had issued 6% debentures with a nominal value of 5 million in the year 2010. The debentures the debentures were convertible into ordinary shares at the rate of 60 fully paid ordinary shares for every 1,000 of the debentures. None of the debentures had been converted by 31st December 2013. However, for 2014, something happened. And now we are doing 2014 year. However, on 1st October 2014, holders of 3,000, because I'm cutting 3 zeros, debentures converted them to ordinary shares. Great. So we must pick this date, 1st October 2014. 1st October 2014. So we have here 1st October. We have here 1st October. We have 1st October 2014. There was conversion. Conversion of how many debentures? 3,000 debentures. At what rate? At what rate? At what rate? What is the rate? What is the rate? What is the rate before I answer those students? What is the rate? What is the rate of conversion? What is the rate of conversion? So this is 60 for every, how many debentures? For every 1,000. So this one here, please give me this figure first of all. 3,000 times 60 over 1,000 gives me how much? What, ladies and gentlemen? 3,000 times 60 divided by, so somebody tells me this should be 180. But remember here, I will come and put a big B. I'll come and put a big B. Could you kindly just guess, what do you think in this case does that big B stand for? What do you think does that big B stand for? That big B, what do you think does it stand for, somebody? This big B, what do you think? I'll have to put a big B. Not A, not A, not A. Can you guess? Can you guess? Can you guess? What do you think does this big B stand for? If you're not guessing, then I'll not tell you the answer. If you're not guessing, I'll not tell you the answer. If you're not guessing, I will not tell you the answer. I will not tell you the answer if you guys are not guessing. I will not tell you the answer if you're not guessing. If you're not guessing, I'll not tell you the answer. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, bitter. A bonus? No. Thank you very much for those good guesses. Thank you very much for those good guesses. Ladies and gentlemen, remember we must keep on using a B and A. Sana sana, wakati kuna nini? Share split. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've used B because this particular instrument you're converting here was issued way longer before this split happened. Remember, this split happened in the year 2014, but these debentures were issued, these debentures we are converting there. The debentures that we are converting there, ladies and gentlemen, were issued. The debentures we are converting there, ladies and gentlemen, look at these debentures. When were they issued? The company had issued 6% debentures with a nominal value of 5 million in the year 20, long time ago. The debentures were convertible into ordinary shares at the rate of 60 fully paid ordinary shares for every 1,000 of the debentures. None of the debentures have been converted by 31st December. However, on 1st October 2014, holders of these 3 million debentures converted them to ordinary shares. How many ordinary shares? 108. Ladies and gentlemen, listen and listen to me very well. We are saying here that these debentures that we are converting today, they were issued long time ago in 2010. And then we had a share split here, a share split which happened on 1st of April 2014. All right, all right. And then now we have these convertible debentures are being converted here. But you see, we are saying that these financial instruments that are being converted here today are very old. They came much earlier. They came much earlier here before the split. And any transaction, ladies and gentlemen, that came before the split must always be affected by the splitting ratio. Must be affected by the split. So if it's, whenever you see this B, remember the split you are multiplying by 2. So you must come and multiply this thing here by 2 as well. You multiply it by 2 as well. Why? Because the debentures that you're converting here were issued earlier on. So they must be struck with this split ratio. So could you kindly then give me this figure, somebody? This gives me 300 what here? 360. This gives me 360. Nataka mulisikize. B is before. Nataka mulisikize. Je, kama ingekuwa ni rights kama hizi, for example, shares kama hizi. Hebu angalieni, for example, kama note number 7. Nataka tuelewane. Kama note number 7, look at note number 7. On 1st July 2014, the company issued 8% convertible debentures amounting to 4 million. Assuming that these are the debentures that were being converted, ladies and gentlemen, this time around, would have we multiplied them with that 2 of the split, of the share split? If these debentures are mean in note number 7, if they are the ones that we were converting today, would have we multiplied them with the 2? Would have we considered them in the split arrangement? No, because 1st July is after the split. You see, the split happened in 1st of April 2014. The split happened in 1st of April 2014. So that is after. That is after. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me very well. Listen to me very well. The arrangement that we have here is for shares. Shares in this case here that were done what? Shares in this case that were done what? This note number 8 were for shares that are very old, that were issued much earlier before the split happened. That's why I'm multiplying them with the 2, the split. They are also candidates of being split. They're also candidates of being split. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me very well. So we have here 360. When I accumulate here, 1200 plus 360 gives me what figure? 1200 plus 360 gives me what figure? 1200 plus 360 gives me what figure? It gives me 1,560, like that. So do we have any other transaction in this year? Do we have any other transaction in this year? Do we have any other transaction in this year? No. The only thing I'm seeing here is this corporation tax, which does not affect us in calculations of what year? The one-offs. So now I can read the answer. I can read the questions. The date cannot be written. Even the date you rub it. Even the date you rub it. Yes. So could you then kindly come and count now number of months? Let's count number of months. Let's count number of months, the time. Let's count the time. So like now here, I'll be counting the time from this balance brought down to this date of conversion. Who is able to count? Who is able to count? Masi Wambua, anasema 9. 9 over 12, Mayoma has been able to confirm. So remember now we have only 2 transactions. Hii transaction ya mwisho hakuna haja ya kufikiria sana. Hii transaction ya mwisho hakuna haja ya kufikiria sana because unajua lazima zi balance 12 over 12. So inakuwa 3 over what here? 3 over 12. Lakini kwa kuna time ya kutupu unaweza kaeka, unajua hata pia kwa exam unaweza kustua. Unajua tunaishi maisha na kustuana. Unaweza kaenda kwa exam kama una kitu ya kuandika, unaweza kuhesabia watu kwa exam. Watu wako wengi, unaweza kuhesabia vizuri. Unasema Oktoba, leo unaongea na nguvu. October, November, December. Andika 3 over because that is the only thing you know in the exam. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, do we have any rights issue here? Do we have any bonus in 2014? Do we have any bonus? No. So nothing there, nothing there. So then could you kindly give me the one-offs here very fast? Could you kindly give me the one-offs here very fast? So one-offs, where did we cancel the share split? You know, share split normally, you make the adjustment. If, for example, the shares were being split into 4, you simply come and multiply these up transactions with 4, and then you remove. Share split must be removed because it doesn't serve any. It doesn't serve any significance. What if it was a share consolidation? I would have divided this by 2 and removed as well. And of course, this before, after is applicable throughout. Okay, So then what do we have here, somebody? This is 1,200 times 9 over 2. You guys are not giving me answers. Why? 900. Thank you very much. How about this one here? 1560 times 3 over 12. 1560 times 3 over 12. This will give me 390. So when you add here, then now you have the one-offs for 2014. You have the one-offs for 2014. One-offs for 2014, which is what year? 1290. Which is 1290. Just like I keep on asking, is there anybody who used a different formula, but at the end of the day, they have gotten the same answers with me? Is there anybody who has used a different methodology, but at the end of the day, they have gotten one-offs? Why 9 over 12? Because of the time difference between here and here. Yeah, between this one and this one. I know, ladies and gentlemen, there are those of you who will be doing like these shares. We stayed with them for 12 months, like 12 over 12. And then this one, right? But at the end of the day, ndio tulikosa. Lakini nyinyi ndio mko wrong. Mimi nafanya kama mmekuja kwa ile kampuni ambayo nafanya kazi, hizi vitu mimi nafanya practical. Anafanyia kampuni kubwa sana. Nafanyia kampuni kubwa. Mimi siwezi kosea swali ya EPS. Because these are the things I do every day. These ones with group consolidation, employee benefits, basically the entire IFRS. You mean a practice every day. Aya. Huyu anasema nirudie hapa kwa before. Nyinyi mlikuwa mnafanya namna gani kwa class? Because I'm so sure you must have done this thing in class. Mlikuwa mnafanya aje? Ukija after share split, the transactions coming down below here. Were you not looking at the dates of this transaction? Was this contract entered before? If the contract was entered before the share split, then even this one becomes a candidate of what year? Splitting. I don't know whether you are able to remember this. You must have done it in class. You must have done it. You must have done this. 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 Yeah, I work with a company called like this. It's a competitor of SAP. Yeah, a competitor of SAP, yes. Wilfred does not remember. Is there somebody who is able to remember doing this with their teacher, regardless of which college you are studying? Is there somebody who is able to remember that you did this with your teacher? Okay, perhaps the method you used could have been different. The method you used could have been different. The method you used could have been different. What of the final answer? Was the final answer the same? Was the final answer the same, 1290? Is the final answer the same? This final answer? No, we cannot move, because even if we move, I mean, if you're not agreeing, because we'll get this thing in the diluted formula quite a lot, the one of before, after. So it's good we agree. It's good we agree. We did the same with Norbert. Though different methods, answer was the same. Answer was the same. 5 minutes break. I'm meeting this for the very first time. But now what we need to ask ourselves, as a gentlemen, have we understood this? Because I know I'm teaching you the proper thing. Have we understood this concept? That should be the thing now. That should be the thing now. So ladies and gentlemen, now from there, now what I need to do, thank you very much. Now what you need to do is to come and calculate for us the profits attributable to ordinary shareholders. You give us what we call the PAUs. Give us what we call the PAUs. Give us what we call the PAUs. The PAUs, the profit attributable to ordinary shareholders. How do we get this? we normally take the profit after tax, we less profit attributable to NCI, we less profit for the NCI, and then of course we less what here? Preference dividends. Preference dividends. So you've got 2 years there. We have 2013, 2013, 2013, and then we have 2014 like that. 2013 and 2014 like that. So are you able to see the profits that have been given here? Are you able to see the profits that have been given here? The profits that have been given here. So profit, ladies and gentlemen, for note number 2. Profit, ladies and gentlemen, profit in this case here for note number 2. Year ended 2013 is 1200. So here we have 1200, and then 2014 we have 1800. 2014 we have 1800 like that. Do we have any profit which is attributable to NCI? No. The profit that we have here is the one which is attributable to discontinued operations. We don't subtract that. When we are getting, ladies and gentlemen, when we are getting basic EPS, we don't subtract profit attributable to discontinued operations. So this one here is 0 here, 0, no NCI profit, but preference dividends, we have them. Preference dividends, we have them. Preference dividends, we have them. The preference dividends, we have them. Preference dividends, we have them. Note number 1, on 1st January 2013, the company had an issued and outstanding share capital of 300,000 ordinary shares of shillings 20 each, and 100,000 8% convertible preference shares of 50 each. Thank you very much. So could we kindly convert that or rather calculate this preference dividend? So nasema ilikuwa ni 100,000 and each 100,000, this 100,000 and each was worth 50, and the preference dividends percentage is 8%. So Esther Chebet ananiambia ni 400, and then remember, ladies and gentlemen, that in 2014 we never redeemed. There were no changes in this preference shareholding, preference shares category. There was no changes. So it's 400, 400. There is nowhere they told us that they redeemed these preference shares, nowhere. Or they increased, nowhere. So please come and give me this profit powers. Give me this powers. So ya kwanza itakuwa ni 800. Ya pili je itakuwa 800 minus 400, which gives me what figure, somebody here, which gives me 1400. And fortunately we have our one-offs. Fortunately we have our one-offs. So one-offs for 2013, what do we have there? One-offs for 2013. One-offs for 2013, what do we have here? One-offs for 2013. One-offs for 2013, what do we have here for one-offs of 2013? So mnasema ilikuwa ni 430.77, isn't it? Alafu ya 2014 ilikuwa ngapi, somebody? Ya mwisho ilikuwa ngapi hapa 2014? 1290. 1290. So please go ahead and divide for you to be able to give us the BEPS, the basic EPS, the basic EPS. So the first one here is 1.86. How about the second one? So you're taking this divided by this, which gives us 1.08. 1.08. Is there any need for us to do any restatements here? Do we need to restate the EPS, the comparative restated the EPS? No. So this automatically marks the end of what year? Our basic earnings per what year? Per share. Our basic earnings per share. If, for example, we had some rights issued in 2014, then I would have restated the EPS of 2013, like that. I would have restated the EPS of 2013. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I shall do in the interest of time, I have already done the video, the full video for this question. I'll be able to share the video with you more the way I'm doing the diluted EPS. It is a very easy concept. I've tried my best to simplify it because this mwalimu has to sleep right now. because of tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, we have another subject at 5. Which subject? Rights issue of 2013 will affect 2012. It's backward ever, forward never. Backward ever, forward never. So I'll be able to send to you this, LM, yes. So I'll be able to send to you, ladies and gentlemen, this, so that as a video, you finish, so that when we meet tomorrow, it should be now something different. So also make sure that this video I'll send to you, ladies and gentlemen, will be on YouTube. I'm putting it on YouTube and send you the link, right? Make sure that when you get there, you have to promote Mwalimu. You must subscribe. You must like my YouTube. If possible, share the links, right? Right, very important. Because like if you want money market videos, where do you find them? In my YouTube. YouTube yangu ni Joshua Aura. Look it after Joshua Aura, money markets, etc. Utaipata right away. Otherwise, thank you very much for the support. And I look forward, ladies and gentlemen, to helping you people. We need to meet at ISPAC forums for us to learn these things much better. Great. It's good to know that you guys are liking these things. It's good to know that you are liking these things.